Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. We're going to be talking about what happened during yesterday's 15-game slate. Well, a slate that should have been 15 games. We did have a couple of games postponed due to inclement weather. We had a couple of more games that people were in fear of, and honestly, I fell victim to not having any Nationals exposure or any Stanton exposure for that matter, just because we saw what the deal was with the weather, man, and it was just so bad, the weather, and it was all Upper East Coast. I just stayed away from most of those games completely. I really did. I just didn't have, and I still had a great night. Ended up tripling my buy-in. As you know, the gang stack, like my favorite stack of the day, actually ended up being the gang stack of the night. I'm talking about none other than the Cincinnati Reds. They went turkey ham. I'm talking 15 runs. It was awesome. Something that you rarely see is they had the game relatively in hand. Like, I'm talking 10. They was up 8, 9 runs late in the game, and you still saw the starters get reps. And that doesn't happen a lot of times. Most times, you see guys get subbed out, not come around for that last at bat. But all the Cincinnati guys, they got their reps in, and they played well. Eugenio Suarez led them all in scoring with well, no, he didn't. Scott Schebler led them all in scoring with 29. Eugenio Suarez 19. Scooter Gennett had 18. Adam Duvall 18. Billy Hamilton had a great one. Joey Votto, Cozy, Chucker Bryant. It was nice. It was an all-around nice game for the Cincinnati Reds, and they were the team that I had the most exposure to. We talked about them in detail in yesterday's line drive at 5. Man, that's when we come together once the batting orders come out. We've already see what we do the night before. We look at the pitching. That's what this is about. The first class is about pitching. We get our pitching prospects already laced. Like, we know who we like. We have a pool of pitchers that we like already. Then I go out and listen to what everybody else is saying. Listen to all the other podcasts. See what everybody else is talking about. Then I find out who of the pitchers that I like is going to be the chalk. And then I make my way to attacking that dude. You know what I mean? So that was how we played it, man. And luckily I got put on to Luke Weaver inside of the shop. Now, I thought that there were going to be some very solid pitching prospects that we could go to without paying up for sale. But when it all came down to it, man, I just wanted the safety. I wanted the safety that I knew I was going to get with Chris Sale. He was the guy. If I had to pick one guy on the slate that I thought was the easiest, had the easiest road from a matchup standpoint, had the easiest road to 10Ks, that's who I jumped on. But it turns out Dylan Bundy went turkey ham. Dylan Bundy went ham. 50.85 DraftKings points. If you played him, if you're part of the 3.2% of people that played Dylan Bundy, hats off to you, bro. Hats off to you. Jake Junis had a good one, 28.35. Luke Weaver, of course, came in at 27.3. Marquez, a guy who I was on, but I got off of him in favor of Luke Weaver. He had 23. Jake Arrieta disappointed, 22. So did Urban Santana, 21. We did have a few duds, quite a few duds from a pitching standpoint. At the bottom, Mike Fiers, man. It's funny. This is the value. This is the value and the beauty of being a DFS Sweatshop member, okay? Because of course, I'm the founder, but guess what? I'm actually just a member like everybody else, okay? So I come into the line drive, and I'm like, here's my pitching prospects, the few guys that I like. And as soon as I said Mike Fiers, right, I got the side eye from a lot of the cats in the group. A lot of the cats in the group hit me with the side eye. It was like, Fiers? Are you sure you want to do that? So I'm like, I like him. So we're going on about our research, chopping it up. Everybody is pouring in with their information. We're getting to it. And out of nowhere, you see this tick on a ticker. It comes up and says, Gallo is in. So now I go back, refresh, look at the Texas order with Gallo in it, and it looks deadly with Gallo in it. It didn't look the same. But when they put Gallo in there, it looked deadly, and I immediately scoot got up off of Mike Fiers at the the wishes of the Sweatshop fam. Thank you all, brothers. Y'all helped me to dodge a bullet. Because if I played that motherfucker, I would have been pissed. Negative 7.6 for him. He was bad. Chris Smith is still getting his ass whooped. He's negative 5.95. Vance Worley, we had no interest in him. Negative 345. Chris Flexen, of course, we attacked him with the Cincinnati bats there. Rich Hill, negative 1.15. I knew I didn't like Rich Hill, bro. Matt Moore, another one, is getting hit up. Matt Garza. So pitching, the bottom of the pitching, I had none of those cats, man. And whenever you have a pitching slate go by and you don't have any of the negative people, you probably are in a good spot to cash. You're probably in a good spot to cash. The highest scoring bat on the night was Jorge Polanco, man. Dude went the fuck off, man. 35 DraftKings points, very solid. Shin-Soo Choo, 30. Elvis Andrus, 29. Scott Schebler, 29. So Machado, 28. So it was a good one, man. Eric Hosmer was a guy that we liked. Yeah. If I had to say there was one person that let me down, if I had to give like the baseball snowflake to one person, it would be Evan Gattis. Evan Gattis he left like 8 runners on. Like he was in so many. I believe the bases were loaded for him at some point. The table was set, bro. The table was set. You didn't even have to give me a grand slam. Although that would have been nice. Scott Schebler did it. You could have at least hit like a fucking CNI singer. Something. You got 0, bro. That was horrible. Gaddis sucked, bro. Gaddis was dog shit tonight. Bad. And the funny thing is, next time he's up, he's gonna go out and he's gonna hang up a million runs. And another side note about this Texas-Houston game. First and foremost, shout out to everybody out there in the state of Texas, man. Much love to you all. Houston, stand up. I really hope everybody is safe, man, and things are working out well for them. I really do. So I'm thinking, and this is what I get for trying to capitalize, all right? I'm thinking, oh, man, this is a great storyline right here because, the Houston team and the Texas Rangers, they're both from Texas, which I didn't really think about that. They got to go to Tropicana. They're going to want to put on a show for their fans that are watching. But guess what? These people are probably worried about the people back at the crib, man. You know what I'm saying? The people probably, you know what I'm saying? Like it's bigger than baseball for them right now. So I'm thinking they're gonna go out, they're gonna score a bunch of runs because that's the storyline. That's what happens. And that was the wrong damn team because the Houston Astros didn't do shit. But the Rangers went nuts, bro. The Rangers could have been gang, bro. They went ham. They went turkey ham, man. That was a great game for the Rangers. But shout out to everybody in Texas, man. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to the homie Kaheem Jones, Ronald DFS, Landon Taylor, all of you guys in Texas, man. Much love to y'all. Hope y'all are all right. So let's go ahead and jump into today's slate. Okay, now of course, we got a lot of shit going on because we've got an early joint that's 5 games. We've got a little small turbo inside of that at 305. That's 3 games. And, of course, for the night, we've got 9 games. Now, I do see a 105 early for Wednesday as well. We're going to talk about that. Cool, yeah. The 105 early. Yes, let's do that. This is it. Okay. Okay, and it starts at 12:05. So you've got Atlanta, Philadelphia, Cleveland, New York, my New York Yankees. You've got St. Louis, Milwaukee, Seattle, Baltimore, and Detroit, Colorado. So Coarse is not on the main. It's going to be on the early slate. Let's see. I want to see if we're going to have any games, any doubleheader games. So I'm going to go check out. I'm going to just check out the all-day 15 joint just to see if we have any doubleheaders there. Anywhere, and I don't think we do. I think we should be all systems go, ready to rock. Okay, cool, nice. So let's go ahead, man. Let's jump into it, man. First thing we're gonna do is gonna talk about this early slate. I would love to do a 11 o'clock quick podcast with you and kind of break down plays, man. But I'm gonna be in the barbershop tomorrow. I'm so sorry that I can't. I might try to do something. I don't know. It depends, depending on the appointments I have, and I don't have a lot of appointments tomorrow. Depending on the clients that come in, walk-ins, how that goes. Because I do my barbering thing during the day. Shout out to all the barbers in the house. Stand up. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. I'm gonna pull up DK, and we're gonna go game by game. So I've got, like, this one has Jared Eichhoff and R.A. Dickey is on DraftKings, but here I'm showing Julio Teheran and Jared Eichhoff. Now Dickey was supposed to pitch yesterday, so maybe he moves up into this spot and pitches here. Maybe that's the case. Either way, don't want to have too much exposure to them. Eichhoff in this spot at 7.3 is kind of interesting for this early slate. But you look at But no, but yeah, he is interesting. The only problem is, man, uh, I hate playing pitchers against the Braves, but they've been so bad recently, man. Let's take a look at the Braves on the road versus righties. Let's take a look at this because they've been bad recently, man. 17.8% K rate, a 142 ISO with a 306 WOBA. The only guys that I probably could play from are some the lefty power from Atlanta. And why is Freddie Freeman still priced up? This dude hasn't hit shit in like a month, and he's still 5.3. This is bad. Yo, Freddie Freeman has not been good. 0, 2, 4. Okay, 14, 12, 5, 15, 8, 5. Like, he hasn't been like Freddie Freeman in a while. So, Eichhoff is a guy that I'm going to consider. Eric Christian, what's up, big homie? Jared Eichhoff is a guy that I'm going to consider. No Julio Teheran for me. I will like some of the Philadelphia bats. The next game we've got is Josh Tomlin for the Cleveland Indians at 8.1. CC Sabathia 7.1. I want to look at CC Sabathia in his last start, and I don't think he was horrible. I really don't. I don't think he was horrible in his last start. 22.15 against Seattle. And Seattle has been slumping and then 18.5 against Boston before that. But what I want you to know is, man, the Cleveland Indians on the road versus lefties, I think that's a thing. I really do. They're 21.9% K rate, 193 ISO, 345 WOBA. I am not afraid of the Yankees bullpen, really. So I definitely think that you can play some of the Cleveland guys here. Do I want to play Josh Tomlin against my Yankees? No, not really. Yankees do well hitting breaking balls. Josh Tomlin, all he throws is that weak-ass curveball. I don't want any of the pitchers here. Next game we got is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. You've got Chase Anderson, 9.1. Carlos Martinez, 12.2. Martinez is priced up here. I don't think he's paid off his salary in quite a few games. Priced up at 12.1, he got 20, 17, 20, 27, 13, 18, 8, 18, 2. He's just so priced up, bro. He is so priced up. And against Milwaukee Brewers, a team that does K a lot. We take a look at the Brewers and what they do at the crib versus right-handed pitching. This is a team that's a 27.5% K rate, a 185 ISO, 323 WOBA. So they can not only strike out a lot, but they also can hit when they get ready to. I just don't want to play that much for Carlos Martinez, man. 12.2 with the slump that he's been in recently, I just don't think it's a good idea. We look on the other side, Chase Anderson, 9.1. The St. Louis Cardinals, man, have been pretty decent, man, so far on the road, man. And you look at what they do on the road versus righties, and I think Chase Anderson is going to be hard to get to as well. 24.5% K rate, a 155 ISO, 336 WOBA. Anderson is a guy I just can't get behind. I don't want to play a pitcher here. Next game we got Seattle Mariners and the Baltimore Orioles. Are we taking the approach that the Orioles are bad? I mean, excuse me, that the Seattle Mariners are just bad right now? You think adding Yonder Alonso, because the team hasn't changed very much, man. You think adding Yonder and Nelly Cruz and Robinson Cano coming back from this injury, you think that this team would be different, man? But they just haven't been doing well. They just haven't been. If you take a look at the Seattle Mariners and what they do on the road versus right-handers over the last 30 days, and it's enough to like really ask you like, what the fuck is going on? 17% K rate, 152 ISO with a 314 WOBA. Not great. Ubaldo Jimenez at 6.3. Very fair price, I would say, for him. He's fairly cheap. 3.25, negative 4.85 last time against Seattle in Seattle. 23.8 against Oakland. And you got to consider this is definitely more of a batter spot. Yeah, man. This is tough. This is tough. I know I don't want to play Miranda. I know I really don't want to play Ubaldo Jimenez. Because you look at Baltimore and what they do at the crib versus lefties, that's going to tell you a story here. We've got 22.7% K rate, a 207 ISO with a 359 WOBA. You can guarantee that on the early state, everybody's going to be all over Baltimore. Let's take a look at the last game. Maybe we can find some pitching here in Coarse, a place where there probably won't be any people won't want to play pitchers here. Verlander, yes. Yeah, Verlander's in play. He's going to have to be in play, man. It's a 12-run total. I don't give a fuck. Chad Bettis at 6.4. He has not been horrible recently, man. 16-16 in his first two starts at 2.45 against Atlanta. He's a guy that if you're really desperate, you could play him. But I would more than likely just roll with Verlander here against the Rockies. We take a look at the Rockies and what they do at the crib versus right-handers. Not prolific, man. 19.3% K rate, 182 ISO with a 371 WOBA. Verlander is a guy I think at 9.2. I don't think people are going to want to play him. It's kind of contrarian to play a pitcher at Coarse anyway. So he's a guy that I'm going to be taking a look at. The pitchers I like for the early slate, there's only two I like: Verlander, Eckhoff, and maybe Jimenez if I want to get really jiggy with it. That is it. That is all. Let's move on to the main slate. We've got 9 games. First pitch goes out at 7:07. We got a lot of juicy pitching on this one, man. I kind of like this one. Arizona just beat the Dodgers. That went final. So let's take a look, okay? So first game we got is the Boston Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. We are in the Rogers Center here. Great place to hit. Great place for Chris Sale to go in and throw 11 Ks too. He went ham. He did. Rick Porcello 8.7, J.A. Happ 7.4. You look at what the Toronto Blue Jays do at the crib versus righties. They haven't been bad. They haven't been bad. They've been decent. Where were we at? Okay. 18.8% K rate, 178 ISO with a 313 WOBA. After that shellacking they got in terms of Chris Sale mowing all of them down, they're going to want to play a lot better. I can see playing some of the bats here. Don't love Porcello. J.A. Happ at 7.4 in his last couple of starts. He was decent last time out. Well, against Pittsburgh, 27.3. The last two, 12.1 against Minnesota, 10.65 against Chicago. The problem with this is there's going to be a lot of righty-lefty matchups in favor of the Boston Red Sox. And if you give me Rajai Davis again at 3.5, a guy that is not only a threat to get on but to snag a bag, I will definitely take advantage of him there. Damn, Cron just hit another jack. He just hit another jack. He hit another jack. Yeah, I agree with Eric, man. This is a game that I think you could game stack. I really do. But like I said, we're gonna chop that up. ACP to Don, what's up, homie? We're gonna chop that up inside the line drive at 5 o'clock. But no Porcello, no Happ for me. Next game we got second installment of the Rangers and the Houston Astros. Dallas Keuchel at 11.4. Now, what are we getting? Are we getting the discount on Keuchel here, or are we getting the discount on the Texas bats? And you can see it's the Texas bats because you got Nomar 3.7. You got Chu under 4K, Andrus under 4K here. You've got Carlos Gomez, Mike Napoli, Odor. All of these guys are going to be under 4K. The highest guy you got is Adrian Beltre. And I just don't think I don't think that I want to play Dallas Keuchel against these Texas Rangers. I don't think I want to. And at the same time, I don't think that I want to play a ton of Texas Rangers against Dallas Keuchel. So this game could be, from that standpoint, from a Houston pitching and a Texas batting standpoint, this game could be a stay away. Now we look on the other side and how Andrew Cashner can fare against the Houston Astros. I may want to go back to the Astros again. I know they're going to want to come out and play better since getting their ass with the way they did last night. So I'm going to take a look at some of the Astros bats inside the line drive, but none of these guys are going to be in play for me as far as pitching is concerned. The next game we got is the New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. You got Homer Bailey, 6.8. Rafael Montero, 5.7. The Mets came on, okay? The Mets came on strong in the later innings of that game. And for that reason, man, I'm going to have some exposure to them against Homer Bailey. I think this is going to be another game stack situation. Great American Ballpark is a great place to hit. Homer Bailey sucks. He can easily give up a ton of homers. I've got no issue. I've got no issue playing New York Mets guys. Now against Montero, definitely some of the Cincinnati guys are going to be in play for me without question. I can look back to going back toward that stack honestly. Next game you got is the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Chicago Cubs. Jose Quintana at 10.5 is probably going to be one of my favorite pitching prospects on the slate. I'm going to go ahead and highlight him right now. Ivan Nova would gain some consideration for me, but I just don't think the Cubs are going to come out as flat as they did yesterday. So give me some Quintana, no Nova for me. Next game we got is the Chicago White Sox and the Minnesota Twins. We got Derek Holland, Jose Berrios. Berrios is now priced up to 10.1. I am going to keep playing pitchers against the Chicago White Sox, especially guys that have really started K upside. We look at the White Sox and what they do on the road versus right-handed pitching, and you're not going to be surprised, man. 19.2% K rate, 140 ISO, 321 WOBA. I've got no issue playing Berrios at 10.1. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Uh, Derek Holland, 5.6. Do not want to play him. I think we can go exactly. We can go right back to the Minnesota Twins. If you had some Dozier exposure last night, and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be, well, this is the spot where you play him against the lefty. Okay, he's a lefty masher, Brian Dozier, that is. So definitely think that you can get all the exposure that you want to Dozier against Holland, and it will be not problematic at all. Okay, so give me some Barrios here, and let me attack Holland. The next game we've got is the Tampa Bay Rays and the Kansas City Royals. We got Jake Odorizzi, 6.6, Jason Vargas, 6.9. This is gonna be a little tougher game to gauge, man, because both of these pitchers, they can play well. They can play well. And we look at the Kansas City Royals, or excuse me, Jason Vargas here, and the Tampa Bay Rays, they are better against righties. Let's take a look at what the Tampa Bay Rays do on the road versus left-handed pitching. 22.4% K rate, 158 ISO with a 326 WOBA. And for me, that is going to put Jason Vargas in play for me somewhat. Okay, just going in on an initial look. Jake Odorizzi, 6.6. His last couple of starts have not been awesome, man. 6.05, -9, 13.9, 7.4, 8.8, and 25 against Oakland. If I had to pick one of these guys to get hit up, it would be Jake Odorizzi here. I love the lefty power that we're going to see, and I think we need to go back to Mike Moustakas. I think yesterday was kind of a get his mojo going. He did get a hit, did get on. I think he scored a run or something like that. So that was pretty decent for Mike Moustakas. But Eric Hosmer, he went nuts. He hit a jack as well. Merrifield hit one too. They kind of woke up a little bit. So hopefully I can play some of these cats against Odorizzi, who I don't really love, later today. Next game we got is the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres. I want no exposure to Ty Block at 6.5, not at all. Travis Wood at 6K. He does interest me a little bit. 0.65 last time against Miami, 20.75 against Washington, 8.8825. He does interest me a little bit just because I think San Diego Padres are going to be in line for the win. And I don't mind attacking the Giants with a lefty. We look at what the Giants do on the road versus left-handed pitching, and they're just not very good. 17.1% K rate, a 111 ISO with a 288 WOBA. And you got to ask yourself, is Travis Wood the type of pitcher that could, exploit that? And I think he could be in this matchup. At 6K, I think he could be. I really think he could be. I wouldn't have a problem with him. Next game we got is the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hyun-Jin Ryu is on the mound for the Dodgers at 9.4. Robbie Ray, 10.7. Neither pitcher was a good play last night. It wasn't good to play Rich Hill. It was not good to play Godley. They both kind of got hit up, and we saw a major offensive game. I think that could switch and swing where we see a more of a defensive pitching matchup here. I'm going to take exception to not only Robbie Ray, but Hyun-Jin Ryu, and we are going to revisit that inside the line drive at 5. I think this is a spot where this game could play under the total. Okay, the last game on this slate is going to be the Oakland Athletics and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Kendall Graveman had a very solid game out last time. Parker Bridwell 7.9. Let's take a look at Graveman here. 24.35 against Texas, 10.1 against Houston, 26.35 against Baltimore. You look at the Los Angeles Angels and see what they do at the crib versus right-handed pitching, and they're not very good, bro. 19.3% K rate, a 136 ISO with a 324 WOBA. And if Trout is not in the lineup, that is even more the reason to give Graveman some consideration because he hasn't been in the lineup the last couple of nights. Parker Bridwell 7.9. Don't really love him. The Oakland Athletics, man, on the road against righties. Let's take a look at how they fared. 25.8% carry, which is pretty high, but that 185 ISO and a 346 WOBA keep me from getting to Parker Bridwell for me. So these are the pitching prospects that I do like for the 707 main slate. We're gonna go by them, and of course we're gonna shrink this list down as we go further on throughout the day. Robbie Ray, Jose Quintana, Jason Vargas. Those are gonna be the guys I like the most. If I had to pick two right now, I would go Quintana, and I would go Quintana, Graveman. I would go Quintana, Graven right now. If I had to pick right now, 2 pitchers, Quintana, Graven. And this could change. We're gonna go over some more statistics, take a look at some more stuff, man, and we're gonna get together, put all of our heads together like we do in the shop. Like today, ACP says we've got that coming up next week. So it's going down. It definitely is, man. Corey Green says he had a great night. Peace to you. We had a couple of cats, man. Kind of get to it in the shop, man. I know the homies. I know, like cats is getting to it. Like cats getting to it, man. It was good. We had a good one, man. It was a pretty solid day. I know Christian's, he getting it in, man. It was a pretty solid day. So I was happy about that, man. I was happy about that. So yeah, Cincinnati Washington stack, wonderful, wonderful. So like I said, man, if you're on FanDuel, keep it 250. If you're on DraftKings, keep it 200. You rocking with me, man. So you know what we do, man. We always keep it honest. We always keep it real, and we always keep it 300. Peace.